The following is a conversation with Evan Weir. Evan is a left full-back who has recently signed for League 2 side Walsall FC. With just under 100 League of Ireland appearances with UCD and Drogheda, as well as a stint in amateur football with Maynooth University Town, Evan has a vast range of senior football experience for his age. In this conversation, we discuss Evan's football career, the importance of friends and family, and how nailing the basics is the most important thing, whether you want to be successful as a footballer, in your career, or in your personal life. We hope you enjoy the podcast. We'd like to say a massive thank you to the sponsor of the Training 1-to-1 podcast, Financial Planning Matters. You can get in touch with them through their website, www.fpms.ie, for expert financial advice.
Welcome, Evan.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's an absolute pleasure. First of all, congratulations on the move. I know we were just chatting about it there, but how does it feel to finally get a move to England?
Over the moon, to be fair. You know, it's something I looked at as a kid, and I was always like, I really want to go over to England, play me football there. And I thought the best opportunity I could have got is to play my football here, get my appearances up, get my experience, and then make me move at 21, 22. And I think it's perfect now that I'm loaned back till end of June, and then I can go over for a full pre-season so I can hit the ground running. Yeah,
it's good timing. It's nice to get that in the January window where you've got the time or the option to go back. Is that something that was brought to you, where it's like, right, you've got a choice, 6 months or come in now, or was it entirely a decision made on Walsall side?
No, it was this decision made on Walsall side. They just kind of rang up and said, like, you know, we'll give you the 6 months, get fit, get your games back, and then come over, start pre-season, go straight from that. And I think, to be honest, if they had given me the option, I would have went with the 6 months loan and then go over for the year. I just think it's the best one for me.
Yeah, just to get more minutes, I presume, is it?
That's it, and just to get more experience, more games, everything. So I'll probably hit 100 first team appearances now, and by the end of it, so that's something I can look back on and be like, yeah, I did it by 21.
Yeah, that's an incredible achievement. 100. We talk about it, it's very frequent because a lot of the younger guests we have on, or the guests we have on the podcast, are younger. So they're always like just about getting into that phase where it's like, right, some of them haven't got to that stage yet. Some are the race to 100 appearances. For you at a young age, if you were told at 16, 15 that you would have hit 100 appearances at any level, in senior level, would you have been like, that's good going?
I would have gave myself a pat on the back. Yeah, Jesus, I wouldn't have thought I would have done it. And you know, my family, a big help behind me. You know, when I wasn't driving around and going to UCD for the 2 years, my dad was coming home from work, giving me a lift, bringing me home while I'm there in the passenger seat asleep. He's driving, doing it endlessly. So I think this is my way of giving back to him and my mum and brother as well. So
beautiful. Nice. Right.
Take us back. Where did your kind of football journey start?
Started out local. I played with Ratow Harps for, I think it was about 7-8 years. And then I got a move to Home Farm where I played most of my underage football. Then I did a year stint in Joey's. Then I did a half a season with Belvedere. And then everyone was moving to the League of Ireland, and it was under 15s that came in. And then I went from Belvedere to Bows. So it was only a short season though. But then I didn't get into the 17s of Bows. They released me. And JJ Glynn was my manager for the 15s of Bows. And he got the job for UCD 17s. And he took me and one of the other boys with him because we didn't make the Bows 17s. And then from UCD I did the 2 years 17s and then 2 years first team. So I didn't really get to play 19s football. I just went straight to UCD, and I think that was a game changer for me. I think boys would look nowadays and be like, I want to play at biggest clubs, Rovers, Bows, Pats. I was like, sometimes there's some players that need to work their way to it. You know, a load of players going out on loan from Rovers, you see, go to Wexford and all that. I think that's the best thing that can happen for a player. I think it'll show you if you have it, if you don't, but you still go out and enjoy it.
Yeah. For at 17s, so you said you didn't make the next stage at Bows. Why was that, do you think?
I think it was just, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea still to this day. It might have been height. Like, I wasn't tall, I was skinny, I was just kind of just like there. It wasn't like they had players that
Just there.
Yeah, they had like, I think it was Gavin Malloy at the time was there. He came in, and look at Gav now, he's a quality player. Like, so I think they just chose him, and it's fair enough. I go on and got the UCD one. I was like, right, fresh start, move on.
Nice, good self-awareness. At the time, would you have been as like clear-minded about it, or was it a case of, I'm after being like, oh, it's 17s, oh, I could be in trouble here? Or what was your mindset at the time?
That was kind of me. I was like, I think I'll just go back local and just enjoy football and whatever. But when JJ said like, there's an opportunity here for UCD, I had to sit down. My mum and dad thought about it, and I was like, listen, if I want to do it, I'll take the chance. And luckily, it's worked out so far for me. So. I'm buzzing now, yeah.
To get in, so you got in at UCD at 17s. Talk to us from there then. How did the jump go to first team football?
So it was 17s, second year 17s, UCD's first team were playing a friendly against Dundalk, and I believe the left back got injured and they had no other left back, so I got a call saying, do you want to come up and play? And I was, yeah, grand, I'll be up. And I was only coming home from school, and I had to go up to Oriel Park. I still remember, like I have it just on my phone, just saved. And I was buzzing, my dad was buzzing, and we got up there. I was shaking. I was just looking. I was looking around all these boys. I'm like, geez, this is what I like. And we got battered, but it was still good fun, you know. And then from there, I stayed in with them and asked me to train and everything, and made my first appearance, first game of the season, which was unexpected. It was against Wexford away. Drew 1-1. I think they scored in the last minute, but no, it was just quality experience, to be fair.
How did you find that? So what, you were under 17, so you would have been kind of 16 going 17.
Yeah.
How did you find then going into that, like, I suppose senior dressing room, it would have obviously be full of a lot of young players, but how did you find that?
Oh, totally different to 17's dressing room. You know, 17's you'd just be chilling there having a chat with the lads about school or whatever, and these boys are in college. And it's totally different dressing room. They have the big speakers on, you know, there's showers after the game, where 17s you're just kind of like, stick me tracksuit on and I'll go.
Go home, yeah.
But like the fines, everything, it was just, it was different level. And I think the physical side as well, I'm looking at some of these boys and I'm just like, geez, these are big fellas. And then I just said, I'm going to stick my head down now and see where it takes me.
Did you find it in the transition from like 17s, 19s to playing it at senior level, did you find yourself where you were like, your personality could shine through, or you're like, right, I'm just going to keep my head down, be as quiet as I can and just get my job done?
So the first year I was just like, I'm keeping my head down, I'm not going to talk, not going to do anything. And then the next year I was actually on the music then, because the boys had seen I'd be on SoundCloud and all that. So they just kind of put me on it. And
Got the call up.
Yeah, that kind of opened me up that bit more. And then I
yeah.
got in with the lads, was chatting about them, chatting on the pitch, everything. So I think that's just a big boost. Like once you're all together and you're all friends on and off the pitch, I think it's a big thing.
That connection is mad, isn't it? Because that sounds silly, but it is actually very important that you get the role of control the music. That's something that's talked about a lot, by the way. Senior football is like, who controls the music? That like big role. Do you obviously at the time you're just kind of going day by day, but when you if you have, or even now reflecting on it, do moments like that, can they make or break players at such a young age?
I think so, yeah. I think the pressure might get to some lads. Now you have to be very strong-minded. You know, people look at football and be like, oh, he's living the dream, he's kicking a ball here and there, but off the pitch you're not seeing the mental side of it. And you see like on Twitter boys getting absolutely rinsed for something and the next game they're getting praised. So it's just about like my dad said, he said once you go away, he's like, just cut off your socials, kind of just chill out on them. Don't be searching yourself up or looking whatever. If you did any mistakes or whatever, just keep your head in the game, move on, keep going, because you always remember the last game, you never remember the first. So
have you had any moments with that so far in your career where you've been either going through a rut or
going through a good phase,
or the opposite side with social media in particular?
No, not in social media now. I wouldn't really kind of look at it as much, but I think once I got sent off against Bowes just last season, I kind of was like, I need to really hop on here. You know, Kev pulled me for the chat and he was just saying like, you can't be doing that. Like, you're missing a game now. We're going to need you for the game, but you're out. And I think after that, I was just kind of like, yeah, I need to cut down on these yellow, red cards. I think I just thought, I don't know what I was doing. I was just harsh in tackles, everything just late. But no, I think throughout the end of the season, then I just relaxed and just played my ball, and that's it.
Because we see it a lot with players, the younger like generation. I know you're still very young relative to life, but obviously football as well. That transition between obviously 17s, like you went from 17s, 19s to a first team senior setup. Do you see now in younger players, so obviously you're not too distant from an under 17 and an under 19 player by age. Obviously now with nearly over 100 senior appearances, you're massively different compared to them. But do you see anything now in the younger generation, even a tad bit younger than you, that's different to how you were at that age?
See, I think nowadays you're just finding players that they're just quality. Like looking at Naj that plays with Rovers, like he just came out of nowhere, and playing against him in Tally, you're just like, yeah, he's a good player. He's got a bit about him, and he's still young. See a few of the lads that have gone to Italy. They're good lads. They're young. They're getting a bit of experience there, but they obviously went to Italy now because they want to play their football there, way abroad, whatever it is. But no, I think nowadays it's totally different. I think the younger boys are just, I don't know, they're getting bigger. Everything, you're just looking like, there's no way he's 18. There's something wrong there. But no, I think it's totally different. Like when compared to when I was there, not like I'm acting like it was 10 years ago, but like it wasn't. But I just remember me being like small and just nothing like what they are nowadays.
Even something as simple as the kind of crop that'll be coming in the next like year to 18 months will be the first group that done 13s, National League, 15, done it all. Whereas 15s was the first year, and that was like a short season. So you add in the people who've played from 13s, there's an extra 2 or 3 years where they might have been in the gym a bit more with like actual gym programs, whatnot, and then obviously more contact time on the pitch. So it'd be interesting because we always talk about Irish football on this and where are we now, where are we going. The kind of next 2 years will be interesting because you'll see that first crop, like I said, of the lads who've came from 13s, and obviously there's people who would argue it should go younger than that, and people think 13 is too young, but this would be a good example when people see young players coming through, how technically good they are, like you said, how physical they are, even if they're not by height. Some people are just like built like a footballer. That'd be interesting to see because it'll probably sway that argument one way or another. If more technical footballers are coming out now, it's like, right, why? Well, they've been in the National League structure for what? An extra 3 or 4 years. Then people your age, and then even your age was only 15s, wasn't it? You were 17s was the first year. Exactly, yeah. So be interesting to see where that goes. It
compounds though.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You look at like when you were training when you were younger, let's say from Rathoden you went to Home Farm, Belva and whatnot. How many days were you training?
Just 2.
Yeah, 2 and probably what, an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. And half 50 minutes of that is a warm up.
Yeah.
So it's like that's like 45 minutes times 2 a week.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. Now you look at national leagues, like you're seeing that 17s, 19s, people are going in, right, our gym, pre-activation, gym, on the pitch, technique work, tactical work, like it's massively different. And then you go one step further, then you go full-time academies, and it's a whole different story over obviously in the UK and across Europe and any top professional club. It's crazy how the difference, we'll see it now, hopefully in the 13s plus, that the extra hours, the extra attention, hopefully the higher quality coaching and exposure like that in the next couple of years, you'll see that you're seeing lads at 16, 17 going, Jesus, these are bang at it. Because they can fast track it a little bit. And obviously with the beauty of our league, you can get them into the senior football environment straight away. And then there's less friction of them progressing. Like it's good to see. It's all positive, thankfully. Like obviously there's a lot of negatives going around and whatnot, but that's a huge positive, I would say. Going back to yourself, or almost advice you'd give for any younger players making the transition to senior football, but obviously on the pitch and both off the pitch, what are some of the key things you see that probably us as outsiders don't see?
I'd say off the pitch is... Oh, I had it there in my head, but I lost it. Well, off the pitch would be like, you know, if you're not in England by 18, don't think it's all over. Like you still have, like what, you don't hit your peak till 28, older maybe. Yeah. Like, so don't think it's the be all end all once you don't make that squad, you don't make this one. But and then on the pitch, I'd say like just do your extras, listen to your coaches, listen to experienced players around the dressing room, because they've done it, they've been there, done it, everything. So someone I'd listen to a lot is Gary Deegan, and he's just something else. Like he did a chat there on last Monday, I believe. We just had a little team meeting, and after the chat, you just could run through a wall just for him. Like he's just quality on and off the pitch. He's just amazing.
What about him? Because we hear a lot of good things about Diego, and we want to get him on as well. Yeah. We were meant to have him on. He will be on soon. What about a leader like him do you value?
He's just like, you know, before the game we get in for a little huddle and he'll just say, listen, you know what to do. Go out and do it for each other, this and that. And then you're just all fired up. You're like, yeah, come on, let's go. And then off the pitch, he'll still, like, we're on a team night out, so he'd still pull you over and just say in training, go.
Apologies for interrupting the podcast. Unfortunately, from here on in, the audio is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be coming off the camera audio, which we've tried to do up with some good sound engineers in Vision Lab. But unfortunately, halfway through the podcast, the recording, the micro SD corrupted. You don't get a notification about that. So unfortunately, we couldn't even spot it when it went. So the rest of the podcast is going to be through the camera audio, which we've tried to touch up as best as possible. So again, apologies about this, but hopefully you can enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Could have just done this. You just love it about him. Like, he's just football, everything, and he's just amazing. I don't know, it's just, ever since I came to Drogheda, he's just been someone I've just looked up to, and massive respect to him.
And he's had a fantastic career. You forget that as well. He's had an amazing career. Having people like that at a young age is so important to feed off. Just to see how they operate, even if they don't pull you aside or whatever, just to see how they operate. But the fact that good leaders like him are willing to pull you aside and do extra things for you. Are you quite receptive to that? Would you seek it from senior players now? Like go to senior players?
I wouldn't take it as criticism when he comes over and starts cursing at me or whatever. I would just say, bro, I did that wrong. What can I do now? I wouldn't be getting into a little corner and hiding, because he knows, I'll say it again, like, he's so much experience behind him, everything. And the same with, like, Dane Massey, I played with him, and he was quality as well. All the information he'd give me, everything. And then Kev, even the manager, bit of experience behind him as well. And you just listen to them all. Darragh Doyle, the whole lot. They all know. So,
sorry for pausing the podcast. Just a quick note on January as a month. So coming out after December, it's extremely important to make sure that there is a savings plan to come out of the financial period of December, with Christmas and various other expenses that are due. One big piece of advice that the Financial Planning Matters team have given us to tell our community is to put a focus on saving cash, building up an emergency fund to make sure that if any expenses that come during the year come unexpectedly, that you do have liquid cash available to pay. This could include anything from the likes of hospital bills to a car that needs a tyre. Thank you very much. Just a little reminder from the Financial Planning Matters team.
So something I'm interested in is that kind of transition from when you broke into senior football at UCD. Obviously, although it's a senior dressing room, you've still got that kind of young age group of players, kind of probably a group of mates as well as a group of teammates. How did you find in that transition to Drogheda, where you're in a senior dressing room where there's people trying to put food on the table, there's lads maybe travelling a big distance to commit to play with families, and then trying to balance football with that? How did you find the kind of dressing room environment, or the differences between it?
I feel like after a UCD game and a loss, you'd get over it the next day. You would talk about it on the Monday. Whereas in Drogheda, after the game, everyone would be in the dressing room, you'd all heads down, and then someone's just screaming at someone, saying you should have did this, should have did that, should have did this tackle, that tackle. And then Kev, the manager, will come in, and then your head will be gone. And then he'll do it again on Monday, just so you know for next time, don't do that. But it's totally different, and I think I love that side of it. I'd rather the criticism than hearing all the nice things.
That's fair. Interesting. For you specifically, I'm going to dial it back to a question I asked a few minutes ago about the transition to senior football. For you in a back four specifically, it's hard to break into any back four, especially in senior football. You were lucky enough to get appearances at UCD, and then now you're playing Premier Division pretty much full-time with Drogheda. Is there anything for young players to know when you get into senior football, the difference in a back four, when it be communication, setup, shape, even how you approach a game? What's the difference, do you think, between underage football in a back four and then senior football in the back four?
I feel like underage football would be wouldn't be as playing out as much. I feel like it'd be just go on, kick it, go on and head it. But with the senior level now, it's kind of, can you get out, can you play, can you get on it, can you get us out of this, can you get us out of that? And I just feel like it's different. Your movement on and off the ball, everything is just different. So like say centre half has the ball, I'm not in a good position, I'll move for the winger to come in and get it, and then I have to make another move off it. So I feel like you just constantly have to be on it. Yeah, just to even just get the ball. Even if you don't get the ball, still your movement, just to create space for other players. So that's kind of the main thing.
What about decision making then? So from a defensive point of view, more so, obviously everyone wants to get on it, play forward and whatnot, especially as fullbacks. But decision making from a defensive point of view, knowing when to play, knowing when to just clip it, does that something that you have to just learn on the job, or did you do like any extra video work to try and understand that?
No, I feel like that's kind of just on the job. 90 minutes, you're winning 1-0, you're not going to play out from the back, you're just going to get out the pitch and squeeze them. But like you'll either learn it the easy way or the hard way, and hopefully it's the easy way now. But if it was the hard way, it'd be tough. No, I think like you learn that as well, even from the lads. They'll tell you like throw-ins, it's the little small things. It's go and take a throw and just walk, take your time, everything, just slow the game right down and just try to get the other team furious, and the other away fans, or if you're away, their home fans, just try to get them on their backs, and that's kind of one of the main bits.
Playing to the crowd as well as so managing that expectation, managing the pressure of them games. How do you find that dealing with a crowd?
I love it. Absolutely love it. I have one of my mates is a big Bows fan, and him and his mates all go to the games, and they video me and all. And every throw and say I have, I just go up and look at them and just or something. But, no, I don't mind it. Like it's a bit of crack. I'd be the same. If I was in the fans watching football, I'd be just going, "Oh, you." Just because it's funny, like, because nothing's really gonna happen, like, but. No, it's good crack. I don't mind it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Everyone's a different opinion.
Something I actually skipped over in your transition from UCD to Drogheda was a stint in amateur football. Funny enough, playing for my hometown, where you went to school, obviously playing with Maynooth. How did you find that?
It was good. Lads were deadly. Like, they were all dead on it now. The pace of the game was different, but like I think that's just getting used to. But a lot of physicality in there. And I think that's something that I've now brought to my game after seeing that the physical sides of all that Leinster Senior League, and like you just leave in a shoulder or the odd elbow and the rest don't see it. But like that's a sneaky part of the game. I don't mind it, and you just kind of get used to it. You get toughened up from it, and I didn't mind it at all. I loved my stint there.
Did you have what were your expectations going into it? Was it probably that it was a level below you, or did you go in going, I'll just take it as it comes and see what I can learn from it?
I just took it as it comes. I think if I went there and was like, oh, I'm better than this, I can do way better, then I wouldn't have got anywhere near Drogheda, I don't think. I think you have to go in with the mindset of new place, start over, see what it's like and play. And once you play your own game, then I think you're fine.
From speaking of the Leinster Senior League, it's 11-a-side, 90 minutes, same rules, but does it feel like a different game?
Oh, totally. Jeez, yeah. You just be, I remember we played, I forget who it was, it might have been Glebe North, I think it was. I don't really remember. It was at home anyway on the Astro. And they had all their fans, just some of the, not fans, but maybe some of the lads' mates. And they just have their dogs there and they'd just be banging on the cage, everything. There's nothing stopping him coming in here and just getting me. Or when I walk out there, he could just come for me. So I think that's just that little part of it. But no, I enjoy every minute of it. Thought it was good crack. And I was training 2 nights a week, but I didn't mind it at all. It was good crack and loved it.
When you're at Leinster Senior games, obviously you've played, you have much more experience than I, but just even being on the sidelines of the games, it's just, the atmosphere's so different, isn't it? Like when obviously one thing is that you're not in a stadium for the majority of games, like it's still live football, but it seems so like edgy.
I was going to say what you said makes sense at the edge, because there's no there's not like anything can happen. Yeah, like if something was kick off, a ref could just leave. Like there's no
there's no security. But obviously, why would there be security? But there's no stewards. So not that much breaks out, but the possibility of it breaking out and the tensions of football, and again, a lot in the Lancashire League, especially at the top level of Lancashire League, there's a lot of very good teams, very good individuals, and the it seems to matter so much. Not that it shouldn't, but it should. Obviously, you're competing at any level. You should want to win and play at the highest level that you possibly can. But it's so
edgy
is the word. So like playing in that, did you find after a couple of weeks, like you go be playing Glebe, you're like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Or was it a case where it was just when you're playing, you don't even you consider it, or was it playing in your mind at all?
Maybe the first 2 games I did, but then after that I was just kind of like, I've got 11 boys behind my back. But like you wouldn't really, like I don't think people would do that. I don't see the reason. And your team losing 1-0, you go on and just hit the run. I don't understand. I don't think they're really like that.
Did you have actually a target on your back when you were there as someone who came from the league?
No, I hope not. I don't think so. No, I don't think. I only played about 5 or 6 games. I didn't get much, so I don't think I did. No, I don't think so.
There's no like slight comments around.
No, not that I can remember now, but there might have been. I just didn't hear it.
So for you, what do you think are the key traits that have allowed you to progress through your senior football career till now and get a dream move to go play in England? What have you done really well as a kid to now?
Just stuff off the pitch. Recovery is a massive thing nowadays. If you're coming home from a game on a Friday or training the next day, you want to get a great night's sleep in just so you're fresh, ready, and you just go into the session then all good, no matter what. Eating the right foods, everything like that. It's the little things that people don't realise. But in the gym as well, getting all your gym sessions in to stop getting injured, recovery as well, and making yourself stronger. So I think they're just little bits that people just take for granted and be like, oh, I'm just doing a little gym session, that's it, I'm gone. Whereas you take your time with it, do it right, and you'll be grand, no injuries, no nothing, you'll be physically able, your fitness will go through the roof, everything.
Mm-hmm. What age did you start the process of looking after your food, making sure you're sleeping well, getting a gym routine, whatever it might be? When did you start that on a consistent basis?
Would have been about 17, just as I was kind of just before I was breaking into the UCD first team, and they'd be in the gym then some days as well, so I was kind of around it where I knew what I was doing. And then I did a TY course where we did gym every day, and I absolutely loved it. It was the best thing for me. I think Killian Phillips was in it. Yeah. I think that was something that just flicked a switch in me, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do now. And I think just from then on, it was just, I'm going to just eat well, do the best I can.
Do you sleep well after games? Because a lot of players say they actually struggle with the Friday nights.
Yeah, that's the worst part. If you're sitting there at 2 a.m, your eyes wide open, just staring at the ceiling. But I know like people have sleeping tablets and all that, but I wouldn't have an interest in that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think I'd still sleep after the game about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'd still get up at 9 just because my body just wakes me up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have a nap during the day. Like I try to keep myself awake, and then I can get an early night's rest on Saturday.
What is it that's keeping you up? Is it thinking about the game? Is it just pure like adrenaline?
Adrenaline. After the game, your legs do be sore, and you think that would make you tired and everything, but your head's just in a different place. You're just looking everywhere. Sometimes you do think about the game now as well. Like I would have a little, if I did this, maybe this could have happened, or whatever, or someone said this, and but no, I think it's more just, it's just the caffeine before the games. It just kicks in, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because everybody says it. I never really realised this like a year or two ago.
Yeah, no one really can sleep after games. You forget that's such high stakes. Like to go through that, it's such major build up. You could be traveling for X amount of hours, and then you're like that. It's a whole different routine. So you're gonna, like on the game day, you're gonna be having X amount of caffeine. That your mindset's gonna be different. Your feelings, like even your nervous system, everything's different. Yeah. And then you exert an incredible amount of like physical capacity, just drained. If you're playing 90 minutes, that is, and then just stops, and then you have to deal with emotions then after that. I think people forget that all the build up to that, and then it's a rapid decline. It's mad when you consider it. For your like day to day or week to week, what is the general weekly routine for you?
So Monday I'd have training. We train in the evenings now. Tuesday would be off, so usually I would go into the gym myself, just do my own bits. Wednesday training, Thursday analysis and training. Then the match be Friday, and then the odd Saturday or Sunday we might have a recovery session with Drada. But if not, we might there's a recovery room in Brazil that I just go into and do my own bits as well over the weekend, and maybe take the Sunday off just to relax, to be fresh for this Monday session.
Outside of your team sessions then, and obviously you mentioned there a gym session you have to do by yourself, is there anything else you're consciously doing in your day-to-day routine? So obviously you have training in the evening, so what are you doing during the day?
So I get up about 9:30, then you have a little lie on. But I just try, I'd have my porridge in the morning, a cup of tea. Then I'd go into, I have a gym now, a few bits at home that I just go into every morning, do resistant bands, everything. So just kind of get my own bits done. That's kind of really it. I just chill out then till I have to go training with the lads. It's nothing too mad now, but I can eat right and do everything right throughout that day because I've got the time to do it. So it's grand now. Just coming home after training, I might have like something small, cup of tea as well, and hit the bed, and that's kind of
just a cup of tea. Just a cup of tea.
Just basics.
I was going to say, how do you find that just trying to nail the basics every day? Do you ever go through phases where you struggle with it? I find like young players now, everyone wants the secret. You can see like stuff online with like gym programs and all, and it's always the quick solution is sold. Whereas you're talking about getting up, going into like the gym stuff you have at home, bit of resistance bands, like that mightn't appeal to 70% of the young kind of footballers, but it's probably something they should be doing. Do you ever have a struggle with that kind of routine, or is it just literally like you've built such a habit of it, it's just nothing like?
I think now that I used to, the first year at Drogheda, I used to be an electrician, and that was kind of, I'm up, gone at 7 and I'm not getting home till 8, 9 o'clock that night. It's the longest day. I can't do my gym, can't do nothing. But now that I got the new contract in the summer, and I was just like, I'm going to bite the bullet, see where it takes me, and just go full time with it. And I think now that I've just built a routine, I could skip an alarm and I'd still be awake. But I think just once you keep going with it, you just keep the consistency, I think it'll just stick with you and you'll be flying through it.
That's it, isn't it? It's just basics compound. We say a lot like that success leaves clues. Your goal is to get 100 appearances and to get a move to England. You're going to get both. You've got one already. You're going to get the other one. I would like to think. I think 97 you're on. Is that what we said? 97 appearances.
Sorry,
I would like to think you'll get 3 more before you go away, hopefully. But that's just basic stuff, isn't it? Basics compound. Like people just don't want to do it. Do not want to do simple stuff. Have you ever found that in dressing rooms you've been in, that players will, obviously we're not naming names, but players will slowly start to decline because they're neglecting doing simple stuff, basic stuff, just doing the routine stuff?
Yeah, you see it like when boys come back after an injury and they're not getting in the squad, they kind of bring the team morale a bit down just because they're not getting in the squad. Whereas, as Diggs actually said in the meeting, he was like, if you're not in it, you still have to be around the boys. He said, we're all doing this together. Everyone has to stay happy and you want to be able to fight for one another, whether you're playing or you're not playing. But no, you see it nowadays and it's a bad habit to get. But I think the only way of getting rid of it is, just playing. Like it's just, I know it's tough, but like in your training, getting in, doing your bits, doing your extras if you can. I know you feel mentally you don't want to do it, but I think that's the biggest battle to fight is just get in, get it done and go home.
Doing the extras. Then let me talk about extras. Lord above. Do you have any friction with doing extra training?
Not really. I really should, but I kind of just, because I'm in the carpool now with 2 of the lads, Aaron and Andy, so we're in, and then one of them wants to go, we kind of all have to go. We can't just stay. But if we can all be convinced just to stay, then we'll stay and do extra bits on the pitch. But usually then the floodlights go off and you have to go. That's it.
What would you do extra wise on the pitch?
I would do a lot of crossing.
Mm-hmm.
And for the boys that want to finish, you can just little crosses, little things. Like, I think crossing's a big thing in my game where it can be improved. And like, it come into a game, you'll be hitting maybe 5, 7, 8 crosses nearly. So you want them to be them good crosses where boys are making their perfect runs in, getting on the end of it. So you want to be, if I want to hit the good cross, if they're not getting there, it's not my problem, it's theirs. But they're just the little things, and then the odd little finishing drill, because you never know what can happen.
9 goals. 9 goals.
We did say 9 goals.
Yeah, that
Very good.
Free kick specialist.
Very good.
used to be.
And that crown was taken very quickly off it.
Yeah, there's no stopping there.
True.
Yeah,
Kind of coming full circle now to, obviously we talked about the move at the start of the podcast. Throughout your football, so when you started in Rato to even like a year or two ago, did you think playing in England was a possibility? Was it kind of like a dream we all realistically had? Or how kind of feasible was it to you as you were growing up?
Just, I'd always heard my dad saying, he'd always be on to me after a game, saying, you were this, you were that. So I was just kind of like, maybe if I do listen to him, I could actually go somewhere with this. And it's always been a dream. You always be out in the pitch playing with your United jerseys on, your big baggy track bottoms, your Astros. You used to just be World Cup every day, 5 hours, you go in, have your dinner, go back out. But now that it's happened, it's kind of, it's mad. Like, I look at it and I'm just like, I still can't believe it to this day. Like, I know it's not happened yet, like I haven't gone yet, but like, even just to have interest from there, I think it's just surreal.
And how did you find the process of actually signing? So the whole thing, you said it was very quick off camera, that it kind of just came out of nowhere. And it was, all of a sudden, your dream comes true fairly quickly. So what was that process like?
So it was quick. I went over, got it done in a day and flew home that night. Then my flight was delayed in the morning. Then I got there and we got stuck in traffic on the M6. And I was just sitting there, like, this isn't going to happen. Then we finally got to the stadium, got all done, photos, had a meeting with the manager then. But it was just like, literally just like that. And it was done and I was on the flight home and it was just like, I actually just did that. Like, it's mad. Like.
That's crazy.
Could you be present during it? So like when you were in there talking to the manager, doing all the media stuff, signing the contract, did you find it was all a bit of a blur, or did you stop at any moment and kind of go, oh, Jesus, this is pretty much my dream?
So once I got in, I did the media, did an interview, and then they brought me out just to look at the stadium, and that's when I just took my moment just to take a big deep breath and just realise, like, this is where I'm going to be. This will be my home next year, next season for them. And I just sent the video. I literally took a video of it straight away, sent it to my dad, and I was like, just look at this place. This is class. And then the week after, I went to watch them play against Wrexham, to see the stadium full of all the fans. And I was actually chatting with Ross Tierney and Usheen McEntee, 2 lovely, lovely lads. And they were just telling me all about it, and just makes me want to be like, I want to start now, I want to play. It just looks unbelievable.
It's lovely. It's special, that. Like, that stuff is, that's what, like, literally dreams are made of. Those small little moments. And it's nice that you did take a moment to be present and conscious, aware of what's going on, because things like that can flash you by. Like, in a couple of years, although you still have so much more time in your career, like 10 years goes by like that, and all of a sudden, hopefully if everything goes well, you'll hit higher heights, which is obviously the aim. But to get that initial moment at such a young age, it's very easy for that to just pass you right by. So it's lovely that you can take a moment and share those small little things with your family and all that. It's lovely. Very special. Nice to have that, because very few people will never even get close to that. Like, little Evan, when he was younger, I'm sure he would have been like, this is exactly what we're looking for. It's lovely.
Just sent a video straight into the lads group chat. I was like, look at this place. they were all buzzing there. They were like, we'll be over.
I tell you what.
The lads,
if we picked the wrong group. I was going to say we picked the wrong group of mates. No, we didn't. We picked a great bunch. Imagine one of the boys is a pro. Tell you what, some crack.
It would be
crack to go and experience it. Did the boys buzz off it?
Yeah, love it. Like, a few lads wouldn't play football or anything, but they're still like, congratulations, you fully deserve it. Like, there'd be a few nights out I don't go on because I'm just like, no, I got training, whatever. I'm not really bothered. It's like nowadays I just don't bother. And they're like, I tell them, like, listen, sorry, I'm not making out as much. I just don't fancy doing that. I'm just going to do this instead. They have no problem with it, anything at all. They're just the best bunch. There's about 8 of us. And they're just the best. I've been mates to them for nearly 10 years now. And we're just a close group and everyone does everything for each other.
So important to have that as well. Obviously, you speak about your family very nicely, but it's nice to have a group of mates that don't drag you down. We see it, and we're currently seeing it with a lot of players that are playing top level, very, very good level, and just the wrong 1 or 2 people around you. It's like a bad dressing room. 1 or 2 players bring the place down. Same with a group of mates. It's mad how much that can influence your life. Before we start to wind down, what does a successful career look like to you?
Probably, playing the highest level I can, and I think I can go up from here now, kick on in Drogheda, finish off strong, start off strong with Walsall then, and then kick off from there. If I can move up the leagues, great. If I can get more Ireland caps, I'd love to get my first one. I still haven't got one, but I'm still working hard to get there. I think if I can get a few of them, I'll be over the moon, and just to play the highest level I can in my football club wise, I'll be buzzing.
Simple as, isn't it? Basics. I love it. I love the simplicity. I love the simplicity. Then you can go complex, but keeping it simple sometimes is the very best route to go. We actually forgot to mention about the 21s call up, getting into the squad. Incredible achievement. How was that experience for you?
Oh, it was a real eye opener. I'm looking at them boys, like Andy Moran's there, and I'm just like, he's something else. He's some player. And I was rooming with Boston. He's a big boy.
We used to pursue in the flesh. He was an animal.
Oh yeah, and then in the game, you go to the game, you're watching it. I was just sitting with 2 or 3 of the other boys, and they were just telling me about what their clubs are like, and I was like, oh, yeah, part time, not even full time. What? Yeah. But it's different level. Like, them boys are just class on and off the pitch. They're all lovely fellas, every single one of them.
Was you were saying it was almost like your first experience of proper full time football? The training camp, do you enjoy that? Like, full on every day you're in, or you're doing something to do with the team? Do you think you'll like really like that experience once you go to the Walsall? I know it's different on international camps, but it's a good taster of it.
I absolutely love that. You're waking up, get your breakfast, go back up to your room, change, train. I think that's the best part. I love getting up early, going out, have your training. You'll be done all by, say, 1 or 2. You can stay on, do your extras as well till 3 or 4, and you still have loads of time left in the day. But I just can't wait to start it, to be honest. I think it was just something. I went over with them to Latvia, and I was with Josh Keeley. I'd be good friends with Josh, and he was just telling me everything. And I was just, this is dead. I'd love to do this. And it's just, ever since, I've just been working together. So luckily,
Here we go. A good solid 6 months.
Yeah.
That was great.
No, man. I actually love the emphasis on the basics. It's quite good, because it's, like I said, everyone wants the quick solution, but it really is the basics that get you from A to B in football, life, work, whatever it might be.
Very well put. So thank you very much for coming on. Your time is greatly appreciated. Another first on a podcast.
Yeah.
First podcast. So our pleasure to have you on, and again, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Ed.